Music kind of puts you in the mood here this Friday, doesn't it? Well, now, if you're in the mood to maybe do something that will make a real difference in your community and in the lives of young people, we've got a perfect opportunity for you here this morning, and it's not going to take up, a whole lot of time in your life, but the time that you give will be worth it, I promise you. Joining us this morning, Sharon Lawrence with it's Voices for Children, which runs the CASA program, and then Rosie is one of the kids who benefited at one point from the program and now is an advocate for it. First off, tell me what CASA is exactly.
CASA stands for Court-Appointed Special Advocate, and that simply is the name that we give our volunteers who are helping judges learn more about these children. So foster kids come into the system because of abuse or neglect by their parents, and they get social workers and attorneys that have to make really important decisions for them. And then judges, of course, are deciding what happens to them. CASA volunteers help judges by getting to know the children and really telling the judges what these children need in their lives.
So Voices for Children runs the CASA program here
Correct.
in San Diego. Okay.
Correct.
Got it. Rosie, how long were you in the foster care program?
I first entered foster care when I was just 3, and I continued to bounce in and out of foster care until I emancipated at the age of 19.
At 19?
Yes.
I don't think it's any big secret to folks that it's a rough way to go. It's a very challenging way to grow up. Mm-hmm. Where did CASA get involved in the process with you, and kind of what difference did it make?
I got my CASA when I was 13 years old, and I always had a voice, but it was hard to be heard. She really took my voice to the courts and got what I needed done.
And kind of give us an example here. I mean, is this like a Big Brothers Big Sister program, or is it more than that? I would assume it's more than that, since you're actually dealing with the court system.
It's so much more. She can really get in there and tell them if the placement is working for you. Or simple things like sibling visits, because I was split from all my siblings. So there's a variety of things she can do, and she also was there just to care for me and love me for who I was, and that was something that I wasn't getting.
So when you're asking for volunteers for this program, and I know folks are hearing this right now going, okay, now you have my interest, what do they need to come to the table with? I mean, because you do the training, right?
We do the training. So Voices for Children will provide the training at our offices in Kearny Mesa, and we also provide a paid professional staff member to coach and mentor each one of our CASA volunteers. So I don't want them to think that they're going to be all alone doing this work.
You don't have to, make this up as you go along, folks. They know what they're doing. They'll make sure that you know what you're doing too. So that's
you have to
backing each other up is all part of the program.
That's exactly right. You have to be 21 years of age, and you have to have a big heart and want to help kids. And so we're going to train you on what sort of issues you're going to look out for, whether they're educational issues or medical issues. Maybe a child needs soccer cleats so they can play soccer with their friends. Whatever it is that makes that childhood more normal for those children, that's what we want. And the ultimate goal for our children is that we find them a forever family, whether they go back home to their biological families or whether we find them new families.
And that's the whole goal. Rosie, what kind of person do you think volunteers to become a CASA volunteer?
Exactly what she said. Someone with a huge heart. They're not in it to make themselves look good, or if no one else is looking, they still want to do this, then they want to give their all. They really care about this child and their well-being.
And what are you doing these days?
I am working full-time for a burger joint, and I am also in the process of becoming a manager at that joint.
Oh, well, good for you. So life is looking good?
It's looking very good.
I can see the twinkle in your eyes and the smile on your face, and nobody can make that up.
I've been working hard for this position, and I'm looking forward to getting promoted.
Oh, good for you. Now, if folks do want to volunteer, talk to me just a bit about what the time commitment is, because again, that's people they're worried about maybe maybe I don't have the time to do this.
Right. So to be a CASA volunteer takes on average 10 to 15 hours a month, and we work with all ages. So we have a program that works with infant and toddlers, we have a program that works for teenagers, and then we have a program that works with children that first come into the system. So depending on the volunteer's time commitment, we'll put them in the right program so that they can help a child and still maintain and meet their other responsibilities.
Okay, so folks, again, everything's in place. All that's needed is you, just to say, I'd like to be involved. And everything else, Sharon and Rosie and all of their friends and associates will take care of you, get you through the whole process here, and you will make a huge difference in people's lives. There's the information on the screen for you right now. There's some volunteer sessions that are going on. March 2nd, 10 a.m. in Kearny Mesa, and then again on the 16th. And are these informational sessions that will just let people know how the program works more?
Correct. So we're going to have staff and volunteers explain to the public what is involved to become a CASA volunteer.
Very good. So that's the next step, is to go to one of the orientations and the question and answer sessions And hopefully, there's a lot of folks watching right now that can get involved.
We'd love it.
Sharon and Rosie, thank you so much.
Thank
you very much.
Good to
Mike.
see you, and thanks for having a heart for kids.
Thank you.